All right, so I got a few requests from people, or people asking me about a few of these turtle soups and intraday trades. So I'll be going over three of them. I might as well just make a video out of it because it'll be a lot easier. Since if one person or a few people have the question, I feel like a ton of people would have the question as well. So I'll just go over all three of the trades. The first one I'll be going over was the higher time frame Nasdaq long, which allowed me to catch an intraday expansion. And then I'll be going over Euro USD higher time frame turtle soup, which I think a lot of people got actually. And then I'll go over my most recent Twitter post, turtle soup. So first I'll start off with Nasdaq since I'm already on it, and how I caught this turtle soup lower time frame and well, I didn't catch the high time frame one, but I caught the order block after it. So firstly, we're inside of this on the daily time frame. We're inside of this FEG, right? Right here. So inside this FEG breaker, right? And we're just ranging right now. So as you know, what you should do when we are ranging is you buy the range highs, sell the range lows, right? So we're currently in this range low, range high, right? The low that broke the high here, right? And then range high here, right? So we've just been ranging here for the past few days or few weeks or 2 weeks or something, right? And we sweep the range high, right? And then previous to this day, we create all these low resistance lows, right? So when we take out all these lows and take out this range low, that alone enough is basically to know that you should buy here, right? Or not buy, but not look for a large expansion underneath here, right? Just based off this liquidity and the fact that we're in a range, you shouldn't be looking for an expansionary move, right? You want to sell the range highs, buy the range lows, right? So now if we incorporate price into this, right? We have this BPR right here, this 4-hour BPR, or higher time frame PDA, and then also a 4-hour FEG right here, right? So we have these two PDAs, FEG below old lows, right? So this in itself is a classic turtle soup, right? FEG below old lows, right? So if we go to a lower time frame, right? Here's I'll mark this out: the range low, range high, and then this is the 4-hour FEG, and then 4-hour BPR. Right, as the higher time frame PDAs. Right, so once we take out the range low, we create a new range right here, this hourly candle. Okay. Range low, range high. Range low, range high. Range low. Okay. So this 1 hourly candle right here is the range that we're inside of right here. Right? This next hourly candle range is inside of here. Right? So now if we go to the even lower time frame, okay, we take out the range low here and tap into this PDA, right? So what does this mean? This is essentially, right, we're at the low of this large range, right? So this is a range below a range, right? So if we're only looking at this lower time frame one, right, and you want an even lower time frame entry, this is another range below a range, right? So then we also create this other range, this one candle right here, right? So now this is a range below another range below another range, essentially, right? So we take out this low, and this will be this is essentially another range below a range, right? Which you could just soup this low, right? But then we also have this PDA here. Okay, so this is a double tap into an FEG PDA, but then it's also its first tap into this 4-hour BPR here, right? So that's how you could catch the bottom, but I personally wouldn't do that, right? I just looked at this this hourly candle right here, right? I didn't go to the lower time frame. The lowest I went was the hourly. I just saw that we swept this range low, right, on the higher time frame, tapped into this these higher time frame PDAs below the lows, right? So you could have longed off here, or you wait for this order block, which is what I did, right? We have a change in state of delivery, and then our order block is right here, right? The body, order block, right? A thick down close candle, right, into the low. Pretty straightforward. We just sweep a range below another range, right? So you want to be buying below this low, and then buying below this range low as well. And wait, this was yeah, so it's basically just an order block at the range low, basically, right? And another reason why I was confident in this is because there was SMT and a easy drawn liquidity, right? So only using ranges and higher time frame PDAs, right? You can note a long here, but this is just even more confidence, right? So we swept external range liquidity, right? And then previous to this move up, we swept external, and then we had this discounted, premium FEG right here, right? With these failure swings right here, right? So this should automatically be your drawn liquidity right here. This in itself is also pretty good sign, but if you just put them together, it's pretty easy, right? We sweep range low, have a premium FEG to target failure swings right there, right? So pretty simple. Range below range, form this order block, failure swings, and then higher time frame FEG. And then lastly, we also have SMT with ES, I believe. Which one's it? Yeah, we also had SMT here. ES made a higher high, and Key made a lower low. Right. So all these confluences coming together, right, makes it pretty simple to know that this is turtle soup, right? But honestly, the main reason why I was so confident in it was because of this range. We were below this high time frame range, and then we also had this lower time frame range, and then we formed this nice order block here into a PDA. So this was my main confluence, I guess you could say. But then this 4-hour FEG was like such an easy draw on liquidity, right? And then also I was bearish on dollar, which actually ended up losing, which I might as well just go over it right now. At the same time, we were at this low. Let me open it. Yeah. So at the time, NQ was down here below the range, which is at 2 o'clock. Yeah, over here from the order block. When NQ was at the range low, DXY was at the range high, right? We had this 4-hour key level, which is consequent encroachment of this 4-hour FEG, right? We have another range. Honestly, this should have been the range low, but they're right next to each other, so it doesn't really matter. But we have the range low, range high. I was targeting this 4-hour FEG originally, but the reason it didn't get hit was because of the rejection block, which I'll show in a bit. But at the time we swept this range low and we're inside of this order block, this bullish order block, DXY was at this range high and we formed this bearish order block right here and inverse this VI, right? So this was a good short here, right? I thought we were going to get down to this range low, right? Range high, range low. But we only ended up getting to like 50% of the range because of this rejection block here, right? We have this rejection block, but even though it's not the highest probability, right? It's because we're inside of a daily inverse VI, which I didn't see. All right, I didn't go that high on the higher time frame, so that's why this held basically because of this VI, and we ended up leaving this unfilled, right? But this didn't really matter. They ended up both pumping at the same time, which anyway, so, but it was just a little extra confluence as well. I mean, this was also used for the Euro trade, which I'll actually I'll go into the intraday NQ trade first, right? So intraday at around 8 to 9 a.m. right? Before and during market open. Let's go 9 to 10 actually. Let me just go back. Right, this is what it was looking like basically. We inversed this FEG, right, and had this 4-hour premium FEG up here, right, with these failure swings. So this alone, right, is enough to be bullish. Okay. On top of being at this range low and sweeping out these lows into a higher time frame PDA, right? We should at least get to 50% of the range. Okay. So higher time frame range says we should go up to here. Lower time frame says we just inverse this, have these failure swings, and have this higher time frame FEG as an easy draw on liquidity, right? So this alone is enough to be bullish. Now all you have to do, right, is look for a lower time frame entry. Okay, so on the lower time frame, right here, we have this 3 candle sequence. Okay, so from 8:30 to 8:30, 8:45, and then till 9 or 9:15. Right, so this is a classic AMD, right? 3 candle sequence from Romeo. Okay. All right. So we have this classic accumulation, right? 15-minute candle open, low, turtle soup, high, close, right? Range high. Okay. So now, right at this point, this is what I saw going into market open, right? We're clearly in bullish order flow, right? A lot of people are probably thinking, oh, we're so high up right now, right? Well, that means we have to go down, right? No, that's not the case, okay? We will continue to push until we get to our higher time frame draw on liquidity, right? Which is this 4-hour FEG. Okay, so this whole time I'm just targeting this FEG and then this high over here, these highs over here, right? I wasn't worried about really anything else besides like the lower time frame entry, right? But I knew we were going to go up to here, okay? So I was just looking for a lower time frame entry. We sweep these lows, okay, do a classic AMD, right? So now this is the easy part. You literally just have to look for a lower time frame entry, right, inside this retracement, right? Because we have our consolidation or accumulation, manipulation, distribution, right? So then we should have a retracement and then another expansion, right? So all you have to do is find your entry inside of this classic setup, right? Because this AMD is clearly showing that we're bullish, right? We're rejecting lows, we're breaking highs, okay? Clearly in bullish order flow, have a higher time frame draw on liquidity, okay? So you could just use simple premium discount, right? And enter in the discount, right? But this is what I did, right? We had this swept range high. We started retracing here, right? And we had this discount FEG right here, right? So this discount FEG, right? Discount FEG breaker block right here. Okay. Lower time frame unicorn inside of this obvious inside of this bullish AMD, right? With a higher time frame draw. Okay. Which is also a turtle soup, right? We're buying below this discounted low, right? Into a discounted FEG. Okay. So it logically would not make sense, right, to dump any further because we already took out all these lows here, right? There's not really any liquidity resting here, but there is above these higher time frame highs up here, right? So you just got to keep the higher time frame draw and liquidity in mind, right? And then this lower time frame should be a lot easier, okay? And it should be pretty simple to find entries. Okay, so we get this wick down, right, into this FEG, right? So this again, you also have an order block here, right? Whatever you chose to enter out of, as long as you're in a discount, right, you should be fine. We also have a 3 candle sequence again here, right? We tap into this FEG, sweep the range low into this FEG and order block, right before market open with the higher time frame draw on liquidity, right? So at this point, I was in longs here, right? Expecting the market to expand upwards because 920 to 925, 920, 925, and then 930 to 935, right? Our 3 candle sequence again here, right? Sweep the range low here into the order block, another order block, lower time frame order block right here, 1 minute, large candle into the old lows, right? We sweep range low into this order block, and you could have entered long here, but I was already in longs, like off the higher time frame FEG around here, right? So I didn't really care about this because I knew this move down was manipulation because of this 3 candle sequence, right? The 5 minute candles, right? We have our open here, 925, and then we create this large candle down into this order block, sweeping the range low, right? So open, low, turtle soup, high, close, right? So you want to be buying below this second candle's opening price, right? Because that's a 3 candle sequence. If you watch Romeo, you should understand it. which I explained in the turtle soup video. So hopefully you did. But if you go to an even lower time frame, right, we have also an AMD, right, accumulation, manipulation, and then we end up distributing here, right? So boom, 3 candle sequence, and then we just absolutely skyrocket to our drawn liquidity. All right, I ended up closing at this high, I think, or no, it was this high. Yeah, I ended up closing at this high because I think it was this high. Yeah, it was. I think. Wait. It was either this high. I forget, but it was this high or this high. But I had to close because I had to switch classes at 9:35. Yeah, so it's probably this high. So I didn't want to hold through it, so I just ended up closing here. But we still ended up hitting the 4 FEG, and I caught a pretty good chunk of the move anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But this was literally just showing, this AMD showed that we were bullish, right? Inside a bullish order flow, and then just buying this retracement here, a discounted FEG basically, with a higher time frame draw. That's basically all this setup was, right? Pretty simple. And then yeah, the higher time frame range as well. So now I'll go into the euro trade, which a lot of people actually ended up taking, right? So here, there's a higher time frame key level, right, which is consequent encroachment of this 1 hour FEG, and then there's also an old low here, right? So there's these 2 levels here which you could have used, and we have classic power of 3 into this higher time frame PDA, right, above a high. Okay, so this would be also an another smaller range inside of another range, right? Like to catch a long right here, this range low to range high, this 1 candle here. But I wasn't looking at the chart at the time here, and I wouldn't even trade this anyways because it's against order flow, right? But we have this 1 candle right here, right? Have the range low, BPR here, and then the 4 hour FEG here, right? So buy the range low into the FEG, and then the second tap here, right? Turtle soup, and then where you target is the range high, right? So, but since we're clearly in bearish order flow here, right? You want to be ideally selling the range highs. Okay, so you could have long this here, but this was in reality just the manipulation up, right? So we have a 4 hour candle right here from 5 a.m. right, opening here, 4 hour candle open. And then we also have midnight open right here, 12 a.m. midnight open. Right, so these 2 times give you an idea that you should be looking for sells, right? So we're above both of these. Let me remove this. Right, we have our range right here, range high, range low, this lower time frame range, right, which is inside of this range from here to here as well, right? This side of this low. The range high, range low, right here, and then midnight opening price and a 4 hour candle open right here, right? So if we're looking for sells, we want to look to sell above the range high, right, into a higher time frame PDA, when the time is right. Okay, so all of this checked off here. We're above range high, start looking for sells here, tapped into this PD at the same time, and we're above midnight and 4 hour candle open, right? So that automatically makes it a good sell, right? But if you want to look for a lower, even lower time frame entry, you have the 4 hour candle open right here from 5 to 9. 5 to 9. Boom. Right. Let me remove this. We have the 4 hour candle open, right? This is a classic open, high, low, close. Okay. The open here, high, turtle soup above the range high, low, close, right? So anywhere above this 4 hour candle opening, right, is the wick. So this is where you want to be looking for sells, which is in the wick. If you're looking for sells, you want to be looking for sells inside of the high. In a sell candle, you want to be looking for sells in the high of the wick, yeah. And then in a buy candle, you want to be looking for buys in the low of the wick, okay? So this is basically just basic open, high, low, close, okay? We're above, we're creating the wick here. So this is where you look for your sells, okay? We get this change, we tap into the PDA, change the state of delivery, order block right here, okay? There you could short if you're not already short from just tapping into the PDA alone, right? If you want a lower time frame confirmation, then you can. You enter off at that order block, right? So now you're in sells in the wick into a higher time frame PDA above the range high, right? Pretty straightforward. Just an easy sell candle, right? And then you get another one here from 9 to 1. Right. Yeah. 9 to 1, and then the opening right here, right? You sell above the opening price, right? Creating the wick here. Another classic sell candle. I don't know if there's any PDAs here. This is a breakaway gap, which stays unfilled. So I would have liked to enter it off the FEG, but it stays unfilled. If you don't get an entry up here, right? You could classify these as breakers, mitigation blocks, but I personally don't enter off of those, right? So you could wait for a lower time frame FEG like here after you see this wick, right? So as long as you know where the high time frame is going, right, we sweep the range high into a PDA. You just got to find literally any PDA to enter off. It's pretty simple to find a PDA to enter off, right? You sell FEG here, sell FEG here, right, until we get to the range low, okay? But this is around 50% of the range, so I wouldn't personally look to sell that low, but I would just miss the trade, honestly, right? So this was in combination with DXY, me being bearish on DXY here, right? We had where is it? DXY, yeah, at 8. Oh wait, I mean bullish on, or I mean I should have been bullish on DXY, right? So at this point at 8 o'clock right here, when we sweep the range low on Dixie here, right? We also sweep we sweep the range low on Euro, we sweep the range high on Dixie, right? Both into key levels. This is the 4 hour FEG. This is the 1 or 4 hour consequent encroachment, right? Sweep range high into key level, range low into key level here, right? So this move could have been predicted, right? Just off that alone to the opposite side of the range, right? But Euro ended up getting to the range high into the PDA, and Dixie didn't because of this rejection block, which is what I should have seen, right? This alone hitting this high time frame PDA, right? You obviously shouldn't be bearish on DXY anymore if you're bearish on Euro, right? So this would also have been a confirmation for this rejection block here, right? For a turtle soup here as well, right? So that's just basically using ranges. And then I'll go over the Twitter trade, my most recent Twitter trade, right? Also just range low to range high, right? Which is right here. So we have right, this was below the lows into the key level. Okay, right at the range low here. Okay, so here you should have been looking for buys, right? Where was this trade at? Right here. So you should have been looking for buys, right? But the lower time frame here, and honestly, from like a lot of this way up, was pretty choppy, right? So I didn't want to try and look for like a huge expansion move, right? I just wanted to trade from the range low to the range high, right? Because we're ranging here, right? You never want to try and catch an expansion during a ranging market, and catch an expansion during a ranging market, because that's how you'll lose a lot of the time, right? So clearly we're ranging here. So what do we want to do? We want to buy the range low, sell the range high. Okay. So at this point, we swept this low, right? 3 drives into these high time frame PDAs. So I'm looking for buys here, right? We have, and then we also have this breaker right here, right? Into the high time frame PDAs, right? So we had this breaker here, which we reacted off of, right? Not the cleanest, but still ended up going off of it, right? And then we formed this explosive price leg right here, creating a range, right? From this 5-minute FEG right here, let me remove this breaker because we already know inside of it, right? We have this 5-minute FEG here, and then we have the range high, which is just, where am I at? 5-minute FEG and then the range high, right? So we have the low, the 5-minute FEG here, the low that broke the highs right here, right? This low is significant. And then we have the range high right here, okay? Which is also equal highs, right? Which is also a good target. Yeah, and then we also had this volume imbalance here, which I was originally actually going to soup short here, but it ended up going down first, right? So 15-minute VI below, and then 5-minute FEG. I mean, 15-minute VI above the range high. I don't know what EI. And then a 5-minute FEG below the range low. Right? Range low, range high. Inside of a ranging market, okay? So this was pretty straightforward. Right? We have a breaker here as well. Right? We're inside of this breaker, just ranging, and then we sweep this range low into a 5-minute FEG right here, right? So this is where you want to be buying, right? The range low, but we also can use time, right? Simple open low. I'm not even gonna try and look for the candle. Open low high close, right? 315 opening right here. The 15-minute candle power of 3. Right. Here, 15-minute candle open. Right. So you want to be buying in the wick, right? In a buy candle, you want to be buying the low, aka the wick, right? In the sell candle, you want to be buying the high or selling the high, which is the wick, right? So we have the 15-minute candle open right here, and then we have a move down into the range low, sweeping out these lows into this breaker, 5-minute FEG range low inside of a ranging market. Okay, so this is where you want to be buying. You want to be buying the range lows, selling the range highs in a ranging market, right? You don't want to look for a huge expansion. Okay, so we have the open, low, range low, turtle soup into the higher time frame PDA, right? Long here, retrace breaker block here, FEG, right? Another long here, another FEG here, and then attack the range high, right? Which is also another turtle soup, right? We have a 15-minute VI high time frame PDA above the equal highs, above the range high, sweep the range high, and then we go back into this range again, right? So this is why you don't want to look for expansions, right? You just want to target a PDA or equal highs above the high, right? PDAs above the old highs, or just the highs itself, right? Because we just range like this. Because we also had this long wick down here, right? And this long wick here. So long wick into this sweep the highs into higher time for PDA, long wick below, right? Easy trade down to here as well, but I didn't end up taking this, so but I'll just wanted to point it out, right? Just sweeping the range low to the range high in a ranging market, right? Well below the range low of the higher time frame range, which allowed me to catch some of this higher time frame move as well, right? Into this 4-hour FEG, right? Pretty simple. That's basically it. It's mainly just ranges low, range high, right? Highs and lows, and then fair value gaps mainly. Order blocks, breaker blocks, as confirmation, or just as a continuation, right? But the main idea behind these trades are just range low, range high into a higher time frame PTA, right? Which is what a turtle soup is. That's all I'm gonna go over for today, I guess. I need some more video ideas as well, so if you guys could comment some YouTube videos that I should make in the future whenever I have the time, then I'll end up getting to them probably, but it might take a while. So just leave a comment, or if you have any questions, I'll answer them in the comments, because it might be confusing. If you haven't watched Romeo's turtle soup course yet, then you probably should before this, because of the 3 candle sequence, right? It'll be a lot easier to understand if you watch his video, because I don't really explain it, but it's basically just an AMD, so it should be easy to learn. But yeah, that's basically it.